back to the great state of Mississippi. We are in Biloxi for the final table of the Southern Poker Championship.
The folks at the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino really understand Southern hospitality and how to throw a great poker tournament. The cards are in the air, so let's get back to the felt.
And our chip leader is Hoyt Corkins with about $2 million in chips. Mr. Oil from Oklahoma, Jonathan Cantor, an amateur player, has about 1.8.
Third place, Jerry Van Strydunk, the online pro out of Rochester, New York. On the short stack right now, the roofer, James Reed.
But we're going to Jerry. Jerry quickly folding, and now it is on the roofer. James Reed, he's got a 5-7. Short stack, and look at this. He's getting his chips, and he's putting them in.
Well, he's making a move right here, Vance. Just hoping nobody calls so he can pick up the blinds and antes. Oh, unfortunately, right behind him on the button, the two-day lawyer looks down at a pair of eights.
How much?
Pretty decent hand in a five-handed poker game, and he is pondering this decision.
Well, he's in fourth chip position right now out of the five. The only guy he's got covered is the guy that moved in.
I call.
So he's going to make the call.
Hoyt out. Texas T with a king-8 won't play.
Eights.
You're good.
You got a pair?
No.
Oh, then it's a flip.
No, I know you need.
Well, the lawyer thinks he's in a race. As it is, his opponent doesn't even have one over card.
The roofer has one leg run over by a forklift at this moment.
He's a baby.
5-7.
What do you got?
As his wife Nicole looks on.
She asked what you got, Vince.
5-7.
It was $388,000 each.
Let's make it straight.
She's the greatest reader of all people. She should have known.
Come on, baby.
There's still hope. He's done it with slot before. He's stuck around. Can he do it again?
Got to get lucky sometime.
And he's going to have to get very lucky to stay alive in this tournament. Otherwise, he'll be getting the bucket, the ladder, and heading back up to the
You
rooftop.
can put 5 clubs on the board.
He is 37 years old from Noonan, Georgia. A dream alive. Can he get it there?
Well, he got one of his cards. It's come ace, queen, 5.
5-7.
So the wife's smiling now. She knows if he catches a 5 or a 7, he could take the lead and win this pot. And the man from Brooklyn not happy about that flop. He wanted to shut him out completely, but that didn't happen. Here's the turn card. A 6 comes off.
Oh, God, that was close.
Right in the middle of what he needed.
7 or a 5, dealer.
He needs to get lucky.
Hey.
Will it happen here for James Reed? Here comes the river. No!
4 hearts comes off. That's going to do it from the roofer from Noonan, Georgia. James Reed is going to be out in 5th place tonight.
The ladder finally falling on the roofer. Going to take home $106,000. And just like that, we have 4 players remaining at Beau Rivage.
My wife, she got me here. This card dead. You know, eventually you got to play something, so. 10-6 and 7-5, unfortunately, were my 2 best hands today, if that tells you anything.
Okay, we've got 4 players left. WPT champ Hoyt Corkins, the old man from Oklahoma, Jonathan Cantor, the online pro, Jerry Van Strydunk, and the 2-day lawyer, Jared Jaffe.
All for a quest of becoming the champion of the Southern Poker Championship. We're coming right back for more on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. 4 players remain, and Hoyt Corkins is out in front with close to $2 million in chips. The oil man Jonathan Cantor with about $1.7 million in chips.
Well, Vince, all 4 players have well over $1.2 million in chips, so it's anybody's game. But certainly Hoyt Corkins got to be the favorite.
All right, to the felt we go. Mr. Oil. Jonathan Cantor looks down at a king 3 of diamonds. Quickly folds his hand.
Over to the 24-year-old online pro out of Rochester, New York.
Yeah, he's gone out, and now Jared Jaffe
I call.
with ace-4, going to call it.
Well, he limped in out of the small blind with an ace high.
And Hoyt with a jack-3 is going to raise it.
Well, Vance, Hoyt thinks the guy limped in just trying to see a cheap flop. Would never put him on an ace in this spot, so Hoyt is going to raise it. He's in position. He's got the chip lead. And his opponent has made the call. Here comes the flop. Well, it's king 10-8, 2 clubs, no help to either player. Action on the 2-day lawyer.
Check.
He's going to check, and here comes Hoyt reaching for chips with an absolute Garfunkel. And he's going to make the continuation bet of $80,000 here. to put pressure on the lawyer. And Jared looking back to see if he could squeeze out a second ace somehow, but it's not there, Jared. He lays his hand down, so aggressive play by WPT champ Hoyt Corkins, taking down that pot.
Rolling me again, Hoyt.
See the paranoia of the New Yorker. Once again, you're picking on me.
Well, they can talk all they want to Hoyt. Nothing's going to faze this guy.
All right, into the next hand. Hoyt this time with an uneventful 10-4.
And he's going to throw it away. The man from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Looks at an 8-3 on the button. Going to get out, so once again, a battle of the blinds.
Into Jerry.
Looks like an online Opie, doesn't he? Remember Opie from the Andy Griffith Show? He's grown up.
He's called it. Jared not going to raise with Jack 6.
So here comes the flop. Oh, what a flop for Opie here. Ace 7-6. He's flopped top and bottom pair. And he's leading right out and betting $35,000.
Into Jared, who got a piece of that pair of sixes.
Because the pot wasn't raised before the flop.
No raise.
Jared's not going to put him on an ace, so he's going to try to raise it to take it away from him with bottom pair here. That is not going to work.
120.
120,000 is the bet.
Train wreck before our very eyes.
Jerry knows it's possible he could be beat, but believe me, when you're playing against another blind and you flop top and bottom pair, your money is going in there, whether you're beat or not. In this case, Jared virtually almost drawing completely dead. He's got a 1% chance to win this pot. Got to come Jack. And indeed, Jerry's come over the top and raised it. And look at this. Jared has made this call, Vince, with just bottom pair. And that was a $175,000 call. And now what's going to happen if your opponent bets on the turn? What do you do with bottom pair? 5 of diamonds comes off. That is a scare card because it's a possible straight.
All in.
Doesn't scare Jerry too much. He moves all in with it.
Oh, boy, another fine mess you got yourself into, Jared.
Oh, boy.
No place to go and hide here.
Well, I'll tell you, Vince, in case he decides to make the call here with just the 2 6s, it'll be case closed for the lawyer. He is drawing completely dead. No card he can win the pot with. And that's all he can beat is a complete stone bluff. Nothing else. Even if his opponent had an 8-9 and a straight draw, he made it. No way the two-day lawyer is calling this in my mind, but you never know.
Big problem for the New Yorker, and he finally gets it. He folds the hand.
Well, he does fold it. The judge says, overruled, my man. Give the pot to the youngster.
Big pot for Jerry. 4 players remain here at Biloxi. We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour. Tonight's World Poker Tour brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net. Welcome back to the Southern Poker Championship on the World Poker Tour. 4-handed poker, and the antes are going up to 4,000. Blinds of 15 and 30,000.
WPT champ Hoyt Corkins came to this final table with the chip lead. He's still the chip leader. Let's see if he can go wire to wire to capture a second title.
Action on the 24-year-old out of Rochester. Quickly folds his hand. And now Jared Jaffe from New York. Also folding.
So it's a battle of the blinds here. Well, Hoyt Corkins, our chip leader, reaching for raising chips here.
Just got a 10-3, but he likes his position.
Well, he went back to a stack for more chips. Not really allowed. This is what we call a string bet.
He didn't say anything.
Oh, look at this. The oil man recognized that fact.
Didn't bring it back. I brought some chips.
Mr. Oil, very astute, noticing that.
But did I bring my hand back?
And they're going to discuss it right now.
But
Should be 65,000.
Well, when you bet in poker, you must announce the size of your bet or take all your chips out there in one motion. Look here. Hoyt put some chips out there, but now he's reaching back to get more chips. That's considering breaking your stack. It's not allowed because you might get a read off your opponent if he's thinking about playing or folding. Maybe you might want to bet a few more chips to get him out. That's the reason for the rule.
And Mr. Oil spotted that, gets off cheap, does have an ace-6.
Let's see if it'll work for him. Now flop comes King Jack 5, no help to either player. Hoyt now reaching for chips. He's going to make a continuation bet here. It looks like 110,000.
Yep, going to try to steam through this hand.
Re-raise.
The oil man has absolutely nothing, Vince. We haven't seen any speed from him yet at this final table, yet he's raising here with just an ace high.
Just a good read by the oil man. Just thinking, this guy's steaming. I don't believe him. I'm going to try to grab and steal this pot.
Well, 285,000 is the bet. Now, there's no way Hoyt's going to call. What he's thinking about is, if I move in on this guy, could he stand it? Well, the answer is no, he couldn't. But the question is, does Hoyt want to jeopardize his chips here? He's already mad at himself for making a string bet here. Does he want to compound his problems in case the guy has a hand?
Oh boy, this cowboy's getting dragged by the stirrup right now. Not feeling too good.
Well, he is going to throw it away, but chalk one up to the oil man there, showing some aggressiveness to re-raise the chip leader with nothing.
Yeah, there's his lovely wife on the rail. Very excited. Out pro the pro there.
Well, Jonathan's wife, Linda, flew in on the private jet this morning. Now, Vince, it's nice when you have a private jet where you don't have to call, check the airlines and the schedules, and if you can get to town in time, you just get on the jet and go.
So I hear. All right, back to the table. Hoyt Corkins now going to squeeze a pair of jacks out of this one.
Yep, he's got the fish hooks, as we say. 2 jacks. Steaming a little bit from that last pot, so let's see what they do here. This time he's got a hand, and he is going to raise it again to 110,000.
Back into Jonathan, who's got a seductive little 6-7 diamond suited connector.
And he's also got the button. He's also got as many chips as Hoyt does now. So he's in position with a lot of chips. And he's going to make the call.
Like to pour some more salt into Hoyt's wound.
Well, now the pot is swelling up here, Vince, and look at this. Jerry has picked up a pair of 8s out of the small blind. I'm certain he's at least going to call. The question is, do you call or come over the top here yourself? Well, Jerry's going to make the call also.
Into 2-day lawyer, who's got a king-queen.
Well, that's a pretty good hand, too.
I'm all in.
Whoa. And he's going to go all in here.
Put it out.
Put it out there.
Well, Hoyt wants to know how much it is.
This could be a cowboy showdown.
Well, Vince, what the 2-day lawyer was thinking there was Hoyt might have just made a steam raise. These other guys didn't come over the top. They can't be that strong. He's just going to move in and try to pick up the pot, but it's not working. Hoyt Corkins has made the call.
He says, I've ridden bigger bulls before. Oil man's out, as is Jerry.
So here we go.
Looks like I'm going to need to get lucky.
You got ace king?
Well, we've got a
King,
race
queen.
situation here.
You got a good chance.
Hoyt, well aware they're in a race situation, says you've got a good chance. He also knows that to win poker tournaments, you got to win races.
You got the suits, too.
Who's going to get lucky here and win this one?
Cowboy getting out of his saddle.
What'd you fold, sir?
8s.
Boy, did
8.
ask Jerry, what did you have?
What'd you fold, sir?
He's also asking Oil Man.
He's not a hand teller.
But look at
He's
this,
not a
no
hand
response by him. This guy's very cagey.
Not by much.
Here we go with the flop.
Well, flop comes 7-6-3, and right now the oil man's sick. He's not involved in this pot. He would have flopped a top 2 pair. As it is, the lawyer's not happy either. He's got to catch a king or a queen to win the pot.
Yeah, the cowboy out in front with the jacks. Here comes the turn card.
Well, the 4 diamonds comes on the turn. Now, what that means is if a 5 comes off, they'd both make a 7-high straight and split this pot. The 2-day lawyer's life on the line. Going to have to catch a king or a queen to win this pot. Otherwise, he'll be out in 4th place.
Can he get the suck out?
Nope, 9 of clubs comes off. So that's going to do it for Jared Jaffe from Brooklyn, New York. Going to be out tonight in 4th place.
Run of cards there.
That was a big effort. Going to take home $135,000.
Yep, 3 players left fighting it out for this title.
Thank you.
Well, with that hand, our time has run out. But as you know, anything can happen on the WPT, and it usually does.
3 players left. WPT champ Hoyt Corkins, the oil man Jonathan Cantor from Oklahoma, and the online pro from New York, Jerry Van Stridon. So join us next time for continuing WPT coverage of the Southern Poker Championship from the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino. I don't understand what this is for here.